Welcome back, guys. If you saw my first video today, you may remember that at the end of that video I mentioned I'm going to try to get one more video done today, but I'm extremely short on time, so apologies in advance if I'm speaking a bit quickly and or if this video is a bit rushed. To be honest, I don't have the time to do this video, but I really want to, so I'm going to be late to what I need to get to and make this instead. But here we go. So, Collective Shout, Australian feminist organization that was going after payment processors to get them to censor websites like Steam, and then we saw stuff on itch.io as well, etc., etc. You may recall that in Japan, politician Kurishida has been very aware of the situation and has been routinely criticizing Collective Shout and talking about all this. And now here he is again, just flat out saying Collective Shout's activities and practices should be investigated worldwide as they pose such a threat. Responding to an account that says Collective Shout needs to be audited, I'm willing to bet money that they are being financed by a tech company in charge of age gating. The co-founder is on Australia's board, And amidst all of this, Collective Shout has also gone into hiding even more, which is just the peak of comedy. Because they were bragging about it. Like we said the other day, these people were bragging about their, as they call them, victories on their Twitter accounts and on their social media accounts. They were bragging about this stuff, and as soon as people start becoming aware of what's going on and looking into these people and criticizing them, they just all play victim. They all lock down their accounts, and here we are. For example, Collective Shout's Twitter account is still in protected mode, as they have been for a number of days now. This is not new. There's not much to see here. But over on their LinkedIn, I guess they do have some things to say. And Pirate Nation says that they're claiming on their LinkedIn account that Elon Musk has put them at greater risk. Where have we heard that before? I feel like I've heard that same line before from like other people online or like other organizations online specifically. But yeah, here's the statement. Elon Musk's actions have put us at greater risk. Movement Director MTR in the Australian. Collective Shout's founder Melinda Tankard Reist said her group will not be silenced by gamers' threats and abuse. Gamers are just so powerful, guys. We've got these organizations and these corpos terrified. Even Ubisoft the other day was like saying that gamers are abusing them and hurting their reputation. And so continuing, she says, Melinda Tankard Reist, predictably misogynistic gamers have come out in full force in defense of their access to these problematic games. They have unleashed a torrent of abuse and threats of violence against the women on our team. Across multiple online platforms and via email to individual staff members, these men have threatened to do terrible things to all of us and said terrible things about all of us. It goes on and on. Ms. Tankard Reist said Mr. Musk was amplifying the worldwide online abuse by reposting the Change.org petition against us. Oh my gosh, dude. Simply reposting the petition is abuse. That's why no one takes this stuff seriously. I mean, come on. How could you be compelled to say that? And how could you even think that's a good idea? Mr. Musk, he made the abuse even worse by reposting this Change.org petition against us. Musk's actions have fueled threats of violence, harassment, and digital abuse of our all-female team across all our platforms and forced us to take extra measures for our personal safety, she said. I also love how, as Madam Savvy pointed out the other day, Collective Shout seems to try to pretend like there's no women calling them out when many of the people criticizing them are in fact actually women. But of course, that's bad for their narrative. So they try and ignore that and they never mention it. Oh, it's a bunch of misogynistic male gamers who are doing this. That's all. This is also occurring over in Japan with a Japanese free speech organization putting out an official statement regarding the issues of censorship and distribution, suspension on game distribution platforms such as Steam and itch.io, as they say. Further adding, we support and wholeheartedly endorse as a consumer organization the efforts and initiatives of platforms that protect the free creation of creators and the free choice of users. This statement would get reposted by this account Ramblings Nerd with an English translation. Although when I click this, I think the translation is ran through a, like a image translation. You upload the image and it translates it, which means this might be a little bit scuffed. And I'm assuming that given how there's like different random bolts here and there, it looks like one of those image translation things. But hey, maybe it worked out pretty well. I'm just warning you now that maybe this is going to be a little bit scuffed on top of my rushed coverage too. So we'll see. Hopefully this is not a mess. But the statement reads, censorship and distribution suspension issues on game distribution platforms. AFEE is an organization that has been active since 2013 with the aim of respecting diverse expressions in entertainment and protecting the interests of consumers. We hold street demonstrations by nonpartisan politicians to coincide with Comment Market, as well as publishing a magazine and holding study sessions on freedom of expression. Recently, there have been a number of reported cases where game distribution platforms such as Steam and itch.io have been forced to suspend or remove content, including adult games, due to pressure from human rights groups and payment service providers. The background and issues are explained below. We take the following position in order to protect creators' freedom of creation and users' freedom of choice. Skipping down to this section, amid growing moral pressure from human rights groups and payment service providers without legal basis, it is extremely important for cultural diversity that Steam and itch.io continue to make efforts to protect content. Removing or hiding content that does not violate the law is nothing but arbitrary censorship. We strongly encourage each platform to continue to exercise careful judgment when suspending content that is not illegal. 3. Request to avoid suspension of legal content. Suspending the distribution of even non-illegal content is detrimental to both creators and users. Creators not only lose revenue opportunities, but also risk being labeled as inappropriate content producers, and users are deprived of the opportunity to freely access a wide variety of content. We strongly urge platform operators to continue dialogue with users and maintain policies that protect content and avoid excessive deletions. Then skipping to this section where they directly call out Collective Shout here, saying, in July 2025, Steam and itch.io suddenly removed a large amount of adult NSFW content and some adult games from their search results. This was reportedly the result of pressure from the Australian anti-adult content group Collective Shout, which was working to pressure payment providers such as Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal. On itch.io, all tagged NSFW content was removed from search results and browse lists, effectively rendering over 20,000 items invisible. This was done without prior notice and in a confusing manner. Steam revised its Steamworks guidelines to prohibit adult content that is deemed to not meet the payment processor standards and immediately removed a large amount of content in question. As a result, there are reports that legitimate and highly acclaimed LGBTQ-related content, as well as content on mental health and domestic violence, have been affected, posing a threat to freedom of expression. They close with this statement saying, gamers and creator communities have organized protests on Reddit, Blue Sky, Change.org, and other platforms, and have delivered a petition with over 170,000 registered members to Visa and MasterCard, as well as sending numerous phone calls and emails in protest, which, as we discussed the other day, does seem to be working. The disruption of these companies does seem to be impeding their business and costing them money. And really quick, I want to give a shout out to this user, Sekwar, who left a very interesting comment, informative stuff here on my video from the other day, similarly talking about this and saying, I work at a credit card company, not MasterCard nor Visa, so I can give you a suggestion. Don't bother sending emails. Those will go straight to the trash. Do call their call center. They are not allowed to ignore calls, and they have to pay the call center operator companies. Yes, they're all third party per call taken. Lowering the amount of calls received on call centers is 80% of all the projects that I work on. Anything that increases the amount of daily calls is a nightmare for them. Keep calling and they will fold. Alrighty guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. Again, apologies for the rushed video, and thank you for understanding though. Appreciate ya. Let me know what you think about this stuff in the comments. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.